Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Ray Hernandez, and it's time for another episode of Behind the Bag. I'm joined today by my buddy, my pal, my co-host. I think he's here. JonnyIce. Johnny?
I'm here. Johnny's in the building. In the building.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I would say welcome to the vacation edition of Behind the Bag. It's kind of like when you go through the attic of someone that's no longer with us, and you find a tape that's recorded, and this is what they want you to hear. No, that's too serious. I think all this means is that one of us.
Jeez, John.
It's right. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. This just means that one of us is away, and we couldn't record a new episode. And instead of telling you to, hey, go into the archives or put a little fresh spin on something we already did, we're going to record something new and fresh for you guys.
I like it. You know, this is what they call in the biz an evergreen episode, right? Like it does not have, we're not going to talk Mets. So you have no idea. I mean, we're going to talk Mets, but we're not going to talk about the current season, current series. So you have no idea when we're recording this. It could be April right now.
Yeah, or there could be, depending on what sounds you hear outside, there could be shoveling going on. You don't know. You don't know. This is the mystery episode, and which is apropos because this is a bit of a mystery episode, right, Raymond?
It is. If you'll remember, I think it was episode 2 or 3, we did a potluck where we literally did a number randomizer and picked out random players out of the old hat and talked and freestyled. We're going to do that today with Memorabilia.
Yeah, and that earlier episode, our lawyers are still working with ESPN on the draft tone that we took for them, but we have a lot of money, so that should be no problem. But yeah,
if you don't know what we're talking about, go back into the archives, do yourself a favor, and then you can actually, rate us and see, have we grown at all in this episode, in the number of episodes we've done? For all we know, John, we may be filming this right now, right after we did that episode, because people don't know.
They don't know. That's part of the mystery. So this is the grab bag episode, and this is 100% legit.
It is.
I have this large padded envelope of Mets and some other I think there's some other non-Mets memorabilia in there, mostly Mets memorabilia, lineup cards, locker room nameplates for the most part. And we're just gonna dig into it and see what pops up, and then tell a story about it. I mean, this is really sharpening our ad lib chops over here, I think is what's going on.
I'm very excited, and I'm sorry for not paying attention. Ant texted us just now. This guy. How many times we got to tell? We got to get one of those on-air signs just so that people, he knows not to text us.
Yeah, and we can't talk about the content of the text because that probably would give away when
we're talking. So anyhow,
did he talk about Santa being on the roof? Is that what he just texted? Let's pull up a lineup card.
All right, I'm ready. Now, just make sure, please tell me it's Mickey Callaway's lineup card ready. When they batted out of order. That was
all right.
classic.
Let's see what we have. All right, this is not a Mets one.
That looks like a freaking diner menu.
This is not even a Mets one. How phenomenal is that?
Jesus.
It's the Marlins and the Tampa Bay Rays from 2012 in Tropicana Field.
Wow. Were you at that game, or is this just a random purchase?
This was one of those things where, when we were talking about making relationships with the memorabilia guys.
Yes.
I figured Tampa Bay had a pretty, they used to do grab bags. Literally, you pay $50 and get any game used jersey they wanted to give you.
Wow.
So I kind of established a little thing with them. Who knows what I paid for this? Jose Reyes is in the starting lineup for the Miami Marlins, though, just in case you're wondering.
There's always a Met connection, my friend. No, Johnny, I can't wait to post this picture on Twitter and then on our blog, because it literally looks like you're, at Mount Olympus Diner getting ready to order the fried ravioli, or, Jesus.
Well, these are Ultra Pro container top loaders here for your lineup cards, folks.
Okay.
You wanna make sure that they don't get wrinkled or anything like that.
Very nice.
So let's just put, you know what? Why don't we just pull up this game? This is from June 15th, 2012. Here we are in June 15th, 2012. My goodness. The Rays and the Marlins. So your Marlins here,
Yes.
Cousins. Wow. You know what? Whatever I'm looking at here is pretty weak. We got to get to baseball reference. Do you have baseball
11
reference?
nothing, an 11-0 game.
Was it really?
Oh my God. The 36-28 Tampa Bay Rays taking on the 500 Marlins at the end of this game. It's let's make sure we're looking at the same game. Do you have I don't know, G Dobbs batting second?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's very interesting. I think he was double switched into the game.
Yes.
Because they have Reyes as the starting lineup over here.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So crazy.
Wow. I could these names.
Here we
Look
go.
at that. John Buck.
John
John
Buck.
Buck?
So yeah, he was part of the Toronto deal, I believe.
Yes.
Was that the Syndergaard deal? What deal was John Buck part of?
It wasn't Syndergaard. This is when we were like really bad. Oh my God, we're gonna have to look this up now.
I liked him too. He wasn't around too long.
He had a good run, like the first 4 weeks, and we were like, oh my God. He had Jason Bay's number, and I'll remember that. I think I still have this picture. Some fan put masking tape on Jason Bay's number and then just hand wrote Buck in there. Oh.
So let's go down the starting line for the Marlins because it's very interesting. There's some players that I do not remember being on the Marlins. So Jose Reyes led off and then was replaced by Greg Dobbs, who I believe Greg Dobbs was a Philly for a while.
Yes.
Donovan Solano, who I do not remember. Giancarlo Stanton was out there playing right field. Logan Morrison playing left. Omar Infante, I do not remember on the Marlins. I thought that was interesting. Justin Ruggiano playing center field. Austin Kearns also on the Marlins. I did not remember.
Kearns, that's the Reds guy, right?
Yeah. Gabby Sanchez, who I remember clotheslining someone trying to charge the mound. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
But Gabby Sanchez was playing first base and came across when someone was trying to charge the mound and clothesline somebody.
That's fantastic.
John Buck and Carlos Zambrano.
Not to be confused with Victor.
Exactly. Definitely never to be confused with Victor. So very interesting. And then you have the Rays, the main person of note in the Rays lineup. So Carlos Pena was a Ray. Maybe
yes.
That was on. I had no idea.
Yeah. He was their guy, man.
And Hideki Matsui was a Ray in this game. Took an 0 for 5 and ended up hitting 175 at the time. So really interesting. Of course, the one thing I pick is not a Met one. So we'll do another lineup card. How about that?
All right. Sounds like a plan. I don't even remember. Just going back real quick, Hideki Matsui was with the Rays. Wow.
That's very sad. He was with the Angels at some point, right?
Yeah. How about the Rays with catcher Jose Lobaton, former Met? Let's count the former Mets here. I mean, Jesus. Anyway.
All right, let's see what's right behind this one. All right, we've got a Met one.
All right.
Here's the next Mount Olympus diner right here. We've got Dodgers at Mets. This is July 26th, 2015. It's a DeGrom game.
All right.
So here we go. We're going to go check out July 26th, 2015.
I think I went to DeGrom's next start. I'll have to look that up.
Really?
Because I remember seeing him pitch against the Giants. Although that may have been 2014. It may have been 14.
July 26th. Here we go. 2015. This is.
I think that's actually. Is that the game that Kelly Johnson hits a home run? It was like his first game, or Uribe's.
Uribe replaces Johnson in this game.
Okay, I think
in the lineup.
We're gonna test the knowledge here. I think Johnson hits a home run in his first game.
Here we go. Just a little heads up here. We got a little Terry Collins autograph at the bottom for those.
Nice.
That's how these work. The really cool if you've never had a game used lineup card, because you see all the changes. Apparently, Fieldon Colbreth was the second base umpire. Manny Gonzalez on home plate. But the Mets lineup: Curtis Granderson, Ruben Tejada playing third base.
Giving David a day off. Well, actually, David was hurt. Yeah.
David was not around
till late August there. Yeah.
Well, this is what's interesting. So my lineup card has a Murphy, and how come it's not on the Baseball Reference? I'm on the wrong game,
scratch. Late scratch.
I'm on the wrong game.
I'm trying to find 2015 here. Jeez, this is hard. This isn't as easy as we thought it'd be.
I was on the wrong game after all that. All right, July 26th. Okay. All right, we've got Granderson, Tejada playing shortstop, which makes much more sense. Daniel Murphy, Kelly Johnson, and was hitting cleanup that game.
Oof.
Are you kidding me?
You said July 26th?
July 26, 2015.
Okay. Yeah, it's Sunday. Oh, is this the Uribe walk-off? This might be the Uribe walk-off game.
Well, Henry Mejia got the win. So, and Familia had the blown save. Poor DeGrom gives up 0 in 7 2/3. Familia pitches 1 1/3 and gives up 2 runs on 3 hits.
Yeah, this is the game. Juan Uribe gets the walk-off single. I remember this day like so vividly. I saw the Uribe walk-off because I was at my parents' house, and somehow, some way, you go to pay them a visit, and we wound up moving a couch. I think we actually had to take a saw onto the couch to split it.
There's always a saw involved in your stories. That's all I can tell you. Anyway. Look at this bullpen, though. If you look at the available pitchers, Sean Gilmartin.
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, Torres, Parnell Robles, Carlos Torres, and Logan Verrett. But that's always the downside, Ray, of the game use card is your starting pitcher ends up getting scratched out at some point because he ends up getting replaced.
Oh my God. Look at that matchup. This is actually talk about foreshadowing. Zach Greinke against Jacob deGrom. Greinke gives up 2 runs over 7, deGrom nothing over 7 2/3. And if you fast forward to the postseason, game 5 is deGrom against Greinke.
Wow. And Jimmy Rollins as a Dodger.
God almighty.
Yasiel Puig took 3 strikeouts in this game. Good old Yasmani Grandal was in this game. I just love that name. Carl Crawford, on the downswing of his career there, but a really interesting game.
And listen, let's not forget this. Everyone talks about it, but I guess talks about it is the way to say it. That 2015 team, when we got Kelly Johnson and Juan Uribe, that was really the first domino to fall in terms of reshaping the team. I mean, you look at the lineup that you have in your hands. Your outfield is JonnyIce, Granderson, and Conforto. But Conforto is like less than 30 days into his career. I mean, that is probably the last lineup card you'll see that before the lineup totally gets transformed.
And just real quick, looking at our catching situation, and we had talked about this at one point. It was Plawecki and Recker were our catchers at the time. So wow, that was definitely a weak spot for us. Raymond, would you like to do another lineup card, or we want to get into a
let's get to a name. I can't believe you. But so you buy these nameplates? Is that the deal?
Yeah. I do. Let's see if this is something or if this is nothing.
Where do you get them? eBay or the Mets memorabilia?
These were through the Mets, okay. Yeah. Oh, yes.
You sound like Macho Man just there.
Look at this one I bought. I don't know if this was ever used. I think we were at the game that he was warming up. So this I pulled a number 19 Scott Erickson from opening day 2004, which I don't think there was actually another game he was around for. I think he was scratched from a warm-up in his first game he was supposed to pitch for the Mets, and then that was it.
Well, he made 2 game starts that year.
He did make 2 starts. Okay.
His ERA was 7.88.
Oh, solid.
A solid, over 8 innings pitched. So I don't, he didn't really go deep into any of those.
This one, I couldn't resist but pick up because I'm like, this is pretty iconic because that was the end of the road for, oh, look at me saying it's the end of the road. He was picked up by Texas, LA, and the Yankees.
Yes.
Scott Erickson.
Never with an ERA under 6 either. Wow.
I remember him on the Orioles. Yes, I think he was married to like a supermodel or something, wasn't
he? No, she was a big time sports reporter. Was it Lisa Guerrero? I think.
Yes, Lisa Guerrero. They married this year, 2004, by the way.
Yeah, Scott Erickson.
Well, apparently he was charged in connection with a hit and run in January 2021. So shout out to Scott Erickson. But
oh my God,
really crazy because I think that's what happened is he made a couple starts and then was scratched. I don't know why I want to think it was a game that we had gone to, but this might have been before the tradition. But
God, yes, I think so.
This is
just recently. This is 2021.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
Wow,
it's legit. Let's see. Do we have a bag of wine of? Well, you hear a little shuffling in the background. My goodness, where are they? All right, let's put our hand in here.
Be careful. Be careful what's going to come out of the box.
Oh, all right. Opening day 2005.
That's a good one. Wow.
Yeah, I forgot I had these things. Good Lord Almighty.
Wow, that's a good one.
This is number 30, Cliff Floyd. 2005 Cliff Floyd. How are we looking in 2005 with Clifford?
The 2005 Cliff was hurt a lot in 04 and 03 because at one point he made airwaves when he called Port St. Lucie that hole. I don't want to go back to that hole again.
Send me back to that hole. I remember that. Oh my goodness. But he played in a fair amount of games.
That was Willie's first year. We've talked about the 2005 season in the archives a lot, both in the Omar episode and the Wilmer and the Willie episode, but not bad. 273, 34 homers, 98 RBIs, in an outfield with Carlos Beltran. I mean, that's kind of the beginning of, I don't want to say the beginning, but you're feeling real good heading into the 2006 season that the dominoes are there. And obviously in 2006, Cliff was, injured a lot. But to use a Gary Cohen word, it's apropos that he made the final catch when the Mets clinched the division.
And
after
that was
running roughshod over the National League all season, the Mets finally have a title to show for it.
His catch was made a little less nerve-wracking than Timo Perez's catch, but nerve-wracking nonetheless.
Let's talk about Cliff for a quick second. Maybe someday we'll do a Cliff Floyd episode. I don't think he gets his due because the team was so bad during his tenure, at least the start of his tenure. But he was a big part of David Wright's development. I think I read in his Cliff Floyd's, David Wright's book, The Captain, by our boy Anthony DiComo.
David DiComo.
David talks about that, how Cliff took him under his wings, but he made him earn it too. Like he would have to carry the bags. Cliff made him carry his bags as a rookie, but not as a hazing. It was more of a keep you grounded. And Cliff Floyd actually bought David Wright his first suit when he made the big leagues, because now that you're a ball player, Cliff's point was you have to act the part, especially on the road. So I don't think that's really talked about a lot.
And I think he was a leader on a team that needed a leader, especially with Beltran, as I've kind of said a few different times. He was a talent, but wasn't exactly that locker room leader, rally around kind of guy. It seems like Cliff was. And, looking at the stats, Cliff was between 99 and 03. He was a force. He was one of the better left-handed hitters probably in the league.
He was, I think it's amazing that he even went on to have a career, because I will always remember watching every game as always. And I want to say it was like 96, maybe. It was one of those early mid 90s, but he was a first baseman for the Expos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think part of the reason why he played left field is because he could never play.
He wasn't going back to first base after that.
And of course, that injury happened at Shea Stadium. I think it was Todd Hudley that ran into him, and horrible, probably one of the most graphic injuries I've seen. One of the first graphic injuries. You could talk about Robin Ventura, you could talk about Jason Kendall. Those were grotesque, but that was the first grotesque injury that I saw with the wrist.
Yeah, and there's always like the Bobby Valentine stuff like that, but nothing that we saw like during our,
right. So,
but yeah, and that was definitely fear going on there, and never going back to first base after that trucking happened.
Absolutely. Now, was Cliff I'm just looking real quick. He was not on that. He was on that championship team that we talked about for the Marlins in the Bobby Bonilla episode. So, wow.
How do we not talk about Cliff Floyd on that episode?
It goes to show you how stacked that team was.
Incredible, right? Really.
Holy smokes.
Let's see what's next in this package over here. All right. Oh, a spring training Jonathan Niese.
You should throw that on eBay right now and see how much you can get for it.
Oh, I don't know. What is he doing these days? What is Jonathan Niese up to these days? I remember I think the Yankees were the last ones to pick him up.
They picked him up twice. If I'm not mistaken.
Listen to this. 2019, on April 1st, 2019, Niese was drafted by the Long Island Ducks. How do you get drafted by the Long Island Ducks? On April 24th, his contract was purchased by the Seattle Mariners, and he was assigned to the AAA Tacoma Rainiers. And of course, he was released on July 15th, 2019. He was still around in 2019. For Jonathan Niese, it was what could have been. He was a left-handed pitcher. He had talent. I always kind of equate or kind of put together John Maine and Jonathan Niese. It's like these lefty righties that you didn't know what you were getting. You could have had a dominant performance, or you could have had a exactly. 2+ yank.
When he was on, and when he was not, he was not.
That's pretty much how it was. And I believe he was involved in the Neil Walker trade, which I liked Neil Walker. I think injuries and things kind of shortened his career, but oh goodness, the Pirates traded the Niese back to the Mets for Antonio Bastardo. So,
and we talked about Antonio in the Noah Syndergaard ass in the jackpot episode. But the thing about Niese also, I think, there's a couple of things. One, it was kind of cool that he was born on the day that the Mets won their last championship. That was kind of his claim to fame to awesome, start. Yeah. And then Beltran paying for his nose job. That's pretty awesome.
Those are the little tidbits that you get over here. All right, we'll do one more nameplate before going back to the lineup cards.
All right, get your lineup cards here.
I say cards. That's multiple. I'm going in the middle of this pack. Oh, we've got a. We've got a Wilmer Flores from Tribute to the Troops or something like that. Right,
got the camo jersey. The camo nameplate.
We don't play games around here.
Before we get to the Wilmar, let me just tell you, I was on eBay. You told me about these nameplates. Remember I showed you from the Shea Stadium days, and they are literally
it's like Crayola. Oh, the orange placards. Yeah, that looks like the old desk nameplates. Yeah.
Yes, I'm like,
engraved.
How terrible is this?
And
We've
now
come a
they
long
know
way.
that they could sell them, and I haven't gone near them. But it's funny because one of the memorabilia places, I think it's like Steiner or something like that, they have a, oh my god, what an LA Soler nameplate that I'm just waiting to go down. You know, the price is still like dumb. It should be like $10. But he's my guy because I mean, let's sidetrack on LA Soler. That one hitter he had, I think against the Diamondbacks, where he had his own chair he was sitting in the dugout. I mean,
I don't remember this at all.
that is legendary. LA Soler from the from the Cuba, as we
Yes.
call it.
From the
He
cube.
had his own seat